this.
Okay.
Can you adjust that camera a little bit?
Yeah. Which one, this one?
Good afternoon, Fight for Life friends. Thanks for joining us today. This is Jess and Rebecca. We're your ambassadors on behalf of unborn babies everywhere, and we're here to share insights and real-life stories of what we've experienced in this Fight for Life. This isn't going to be a typical radio broadcast for Fight for Life, so we hope that you listen in and stay tuned to the very end. Rebecca?
We are kicking off our broadcast with the weekly update so you can stay connected to the First Choice Ministry and how many lives are affected by your support. From April 6th through April 12th, 2023, First Choice provided 56 pregnancy tests and 58 ultrasounds to our patients. The patients we serve are mainly abortion-bound. We will serve women from all walks of life. It's important to reach them with our free services and speak up for their defenseless child. If you'd like to join the conversation or if you're interested in sponsoring this radio show, please call the radio station at 702-650-5588.
So it's so good to have you back on with me, Rebecca. Thank you for joining in as my co-host.
So excited to be here. Thank you.
So Deb last week talked a little bit about abortion pill reversal that had come in to First Choice. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a recap of that and a follow-up update. So last week we had a young woman reach out to the abortion pill reversal line who then contacted Dr. Hamza, as Dr. Hamza is the only provider in Nevada that is doing these abortion reversals. So she had actually gone into a nearby abortion clinic and was forced to abort her baby by abortion pill. She was being coerced by her mother, and she immediately regretted her decision. She shared with us, though, that she remembered as she was passing by First Choice, she remembered seeing the signs outside of First Choice that if you regret your abortion, you can try to do a reversal, and there is hope for your baby if you regret taking those abortion pills. So she went to her grandmother, who helped her get in touch with Dr. Hamza through the abortion pill reversal hotline. She was prescribed that medicine late at night. They had to go out of their way to find a 24-hour pharmacy. And in doing so, she finally got to the pharmacy, but she couldn't pay for the medication. So the pharmacist actually reached out to Dr. Hamza because she knew that time was of the essence in getting this medication prescribed and having our patient start taking that medicine. It's very important to get the medicine in her right away and acting. But recently, we've been actually getting pushback from these pharmacies because they know it's an abortion reversal, and that Dr. Hamza was able to find a pro-life pharmacist was a miracle in itself, because she took the initiative to contact Dr. Hamza about her patient not being able to pay for the prescription. And while Dr. Hamza's very generous and was willing to pay for the prescription herself, the pharmacy just couldn't allow that to happen, and it's understandable why. So Dr. Hamza, with it being as late as it was and kind of being in a tough spot at the time, just asked her to come into First Choice the next morning, which she did do. So when the patient arrived, she was scanned immediately. We got her right back to the ultrasound room, and Michelle was able to scan her. And lo and behold, the baby was still alive. Praise God. The baby was still alive. So she then she had no transportation back and forth to First Choice. So we ended up paying for her lifts to get back and forth. We had to order her a lift to get to the pharmacy, and then we also paid for the medication for her to begin that treatment. She then needed transportation back to her home because she couldn't afford to do any of it. The woman was a young woman. She had a 1-year-old already. She was kind of dependent upon her mother, who was the one forcing her to have an abortion. You can imagine the kind of situation that she's in when you're dependent upon somebody and they have a lot of authority and influence over your life.
Exactly.
And well, she ended up being mocked at the abortion clinic. She told us about her experience. These people were cold to her. She was belittled and then ultimately forced to take this abortion pill, which she didn't want to do, but she ended up doing because she wanted to please her mother, who was her authority and who she was dependent upon. So the patient did begin her treatment. She ended up afterward, though, missing her follow-up appointments. So I was actually very concerned that maybe she had already started to maybe her body was aborting the baby, because that is definitely a possibility. Of course,
Yes.
The prescription that we give, we want them to start taking right away, so it's most effective when it is being taken right away. We have about 60%, if the medication is taken within 24 to 48 hours, 60% success rate in these abortion reversals. So it's an amazing outcome.
Absolutely.
So we wanted her to definitely start that treatment right away, but then we found out that she got the prescription but didn't necessarily start taking it. So,
that makes sense.
So I mean, this girl had me up and down. My emotions were up and down, and I was very stressed out because, of course, we're trying to save this baby. When she came in, she was very grateful. She wept. You could tell there was definitely that element of remorse. She did not want to have to live with the fact that she killed her
Absolutely.
own baby, and she knew, her conscience was telling her, she knew this was wrong, and she was so grateful. She wept on the couch next to me as she was explaining the feelings that she had. So, did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, there was actually a glimmer of hope, I'm sure, when she was in the room, just thinking, wow, this place, we're going to be able to give her some kind of hope, possibly.
Yeah, there's the hope, and we just showered the love of Jesus all over her, her and her baby. We brought her snacks and water, whatever that she needed in order to kind of wait out the time that we needed to go through this whole process. But she was incredibly grateful for it. I know that Carolyn, who's in charge of the program, The Next Step, had additional resources for her. So she got her diapers and formula for her baby, and really just poured that love onto this patient. Well, so it makes us nervous when we try to follow up and they've either canceled their appointment or if they've rescheduled their appointment, because then we can see maybe they didn't necessarily go through with the prescription that they were provided, or maybe the baby is being aborted and we don't know it.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that probably go through your mind, right?
Yes, there's a lot of finality with it too, and once the baby's passed, there's no coming back from that. So but it's paramount that we get in there within that time frame so that the medication that she already initiated to starve her baby to death and kill the baby, that we could interrupt that with this antidote that Dr. Hansa prescribes. So she ended up, it was, all God's perfect timing. Tammy, who's our faithful Jesus-loving sonographer. We've had her here on KKVV before. She flew in from California, where she now lives. You know, she got married and went off and lived out there with her husband, but she ended up popping into First Choice completely unannounced. She had flown in from California and just showed up. She says, I've got a couple hours to donate and then I've got to leave. Well, she saw one patient, and that woman was also, you know, considering abortion. And as soon as she got done with that patient, or right as she was about to wrap up, guess who showed up to the clinic?
Wow.
Our abortion reversal.
What a blessing.
Tell me about it. I was absolutely shocked because she was also unannounced. She had, can you shut that off? I'm sorry. She had missed her appointments. She had already missed 2 appointments that morning, and then she had just showed up completely unannounced. But it was right as Tammy was finishing up with this girl. So it made her available to take now the abortion reversal. And as soon as I saw her walk in, I said, Tammy, she showed up for you, and you showed up for her. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this was God's divine appointment for you two to meet today, because Tammy's just wonderful, and she has a way of connecting with these women and sharing the love of Jesus and sharing the hope.
Exactly.
Like you explained, the hope of God to her.
Yes.
So, and then she also keeps in contact with the patients and the people that she's helped out. So, I truly believe that was just God's perfect timing.
Yes.
First Choice does have some pretty major needs right now to continue to offer these life-saving services to the women in the Las Vegas community, like the story that we just shared with you. And just so you know, the update to that story after she came in was, this baby is indeed still alive.
Yes, I had to hear that part. Yeah.
This baby is still alive, and the baby is doing very well. Mommy is doing very well. And Tammy was able to share with her that her baby's actually due on the birthday of her 1-year-old big sister.
Oh, wow, that is
So we just thought that was a really cool connection, how God just kind of brought that full circle. I got to meet Grandma when she came in, when Grandma was the one that helped her find the abortion reversal hotline number.
And it's such an awesome thing with the APRs, which she's not the first one, but with these APRs, when they bring their babies in and we see the fruit of all that you help us do here at First Choice, it is not only our blessing, but it's actually your blessing as well, because you are just bringing this life into fruition, which is just, we couldn't do it without your help, that's for sure, because without the support that it takes to do this, we wouldn't able that this one blessing of a baby abortion reversal would not even exist. So we're just so thankful.
That's right. And while we're happy to bring you this update and happy to bring you these results, we realized that the week prior to this one coming in, we had another abortion reversal, and we do get them regularly at First Choice, since we're the only ones in the state of Nevada that are practicing this and doing this. And like Rebecca said, we can't do this life-saving work without your help. And we do have major needs in order to continue this life-saving work. It takes about $75,000 a month to pay our operational expenses. If we had 300 listeners to give $250, that would cover an entire month's operations. It costs First Choice about $60 to pay for our abortion reversal patients' lifts. It costs First Choice about $250 for her to receive our free services. It cost First Choice about $100 for the abortion reversal medication. But saving that baby's life has been absolutely priceless. And we ask that you would consider joining us in this cause to continue to save lives, to continue to help us fund these abortion reversals and to fund the ultrasounds and the pregnancy tests and these free services that we provide. We ask you today, will you please consider giving to First Choice? $1,000 will pay for 10 women's abortion reversal medications. $2,500 will pay for 10 babies to be saved. So as your tax returns are being deposited into your bank accounts, we ask that you would consider giving to First Choice and making eternal investments with the resources that God has trusted in you. Now, today we also have joining us Alyssa, who is our radio station manager here, and she has been not only a supporter of First Choice, she has been involved. She goes down and she street witnesses and prays for these women as they are come to the fork of the road on
Absolutely.
the Death March Road. They come to a fork in the road and they have the option to either keep going straight and go to the abortion clinic, or they can turn left and go to First Choice. And often she has stood at that very fork in the road trying to convince women to turn into First Choice and prays for them. Alyssa, do you have anything that you want to say? You were? Wow. Yes. Amen. thank you so much. We appreciate your help and your support and your advocating for First Choice and your participation, because it really takes participation. Even now, there's miraculous things that are happening in our nation with the abortion pill. I'm not sure if you heard, but last week there was a U.S. District Court judge that revoked the FDA's approval on the abortion pill because there wasn't enough studies done, and there's women that are dying from this abortion pill. Well, so that was supposed to make the abortion pill illegal to use in the United States or distribute. So, Biden administration immediately put in for an appeal on that decision, and now it's gone to the appeals court, and there's some decisions that, conflicting decisions are coming out. So we're getting different news about what the results of that appeal decision would have been in the appeals court. But from what we're seeing, it looks like it will be illegal to distribute for pregnancies over 7 weeks or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to really speak into that if I don't have all the accurate information, but yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know those kind of details. I know that the abortion clinics, they receive funding from the government via our taxes, and so we know that much. I know they also charge their patients. They charge their patients based off of how far along the patient is in their pregnancy. Mm-hmm. So, but First Choice doesn't receive any government funding. We're completely dependent upon private donors. So if you're a church or if you're a private donor looking for a nonprofit to get involved in with either volunteering or with looking just to be able to invest and have an eternal investment, consider First Choice. Come down and take a tour. We invite you to come and see face to face exactly what it is that we do down there and what God is doing down there. This is a mission from God placed directly outside of a death camp. And there's people dying there every day, and we need people to stand up for them, speak out.
Definitely, yeah, we're intercepting that woman's just difficult decision where she's at, and we're able to help at that point to give her that hope that she needs to keep her baby and all the resources she may need and anything else we can help with.
So what are some of the ways that you can donate? Maybe you've been listening and you don't know exactly how to do that. You can always come down to First Choice. Our address is 860 East Sahara Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104. You can mail in a check. You can bring in some cash. You also could leave us a donation on our website at fcpsfriends.org. You can give us a call at 702-294-2273. And then we also have continual baby bottle drives going on. Now, Rebecca, do you want to talk about the baby bottle drives?
Yeah, those baby bottle campaigns are very, very successful. They bring in a lot of the funds that we do use for all of the services we do provide. So what we do is we distribute the baby bottles. If you're interested at your church, you can give us a call there. We will be able to set up a baby bottle campaign at your church. We provide all the supplies you would need. We bring in our baby bottles, set up the table. We would do all the organization that you may need. So if your church or you feel led to start a baby bottle campaign at your church, please call us. It's a really simple process, and it's actually a blessing. We're able to meet a lot of new people that haven't been introduced to First Choice that way. So If you are interested in starting a baby bottle campaign at your church, please give us a call. We are so ready and willing to help organize that for you. So it was at the same number that Jessica told you about, 702-294-2273 for those baby bottle campaigns.
Again, if you'd like to donate online, you can do so at fcpsfriends.org. Listeners, we are so appreciative of your support, and we cannot continue to do this great work without you. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks for joining your announcements for the current one.
I thought God will make it work out.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. This one didn't capture anything.
Oh, sorry.
So we're just gonna shut this guy off. There we go. All right. Hey everyone, we just ask that you would lift up First Choice in prayer. We know that the enemy has come to kill, steal, and destroy, but our God is victorious over all. And so we just ask for your prayer and keep First Choice in mind when you are making your yearly donations. Consider becoming a monthly supporter for First Choice and give us a call. Come down, take a tour. We'd be more than happy to spend some time with you.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. All right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
God bless.